So 2 hours later, head and shaft are safely glued together, and it's time to move on to putting some sand down the shaft to try and increase the weight at the bottom of the club. Now, guys, like I said in the first video, I'm not a master club builder. All these tips and ideas are my own ideas to try and fine tune, obviously golf clubs. However, it's not professional advice. I know some of you guys are going to be saying, oh, this is Mickey Mouse, and you've not measured the weight and it's an experimental video. And, I've been doing YouTube 18 months now, and I know my subscribers well, and I know there's a lot of people that watch the channel that, don't have access to club builders or, are on a budget. They buy budget golf clubs and they have to fine tune them the best they can. And that's why I'm loving doing these videos. But as I said, if you have got access to, somebody that can custom fit you for a putter, somebody that can perfectly swing weight your putter, and you can afford to do that, then by all means, take advantage of that. But, if not, this is how we can make a little bit more of your equipment. If you've got a putter at home that feels a little bit light, we can start to, experiment and try and increase the weight and the head by popping some sand down the shaft. So I'm going to use 6 grams of weight, which is it's a considerable amount actually in terms of swing weight. I'm sure for every 2 grams, your putter increases 1 swing weight. I'm pretty sure that's the calculation. I'm sure there might be some experts out there that can correct me on that if I'm wrong. In fact, one of the lads that follows me, Freddie, who I did my PGA with, and we are going to get down and see him. He is a master club builder, so he'll be shaking his head at this one. And I'm sure when we go down to see him, he can really give us some, good professional advice and hopefully some more tips on how we can tune up as equipment. I'll actually pop his tags in the video if anybody from the UK is wanting some advice or some. God, I'm just trying to let me have a feel of that. A little bit. Oh, you can certainly feel more weight at the bottom of the club. I know I've not got the grip on yet, but we're going to start with that 6 grams of weight. I'm going to plug it. So you just need one of the little cork plugs. And we're going to put that in, obviously, the small end first. Let it just fall down the shaft. And then with a shaft, ideally an alignment rod, just can feel that, push it down there till it comes in. That's it, we want to get it right to the bottom. That's it. Don't worry, this has gone inside. I've not lost the bottom part of the alignment stick. It's a retractable one. So that's saying it's solid. You can tell when it gets sort of solid and there's no shaking around. That's what we're testing to make sure there's no sand shaking up. So that's really compact down at the bottom now. So before we take it out on the putter, we're going to test it. I'm just going to finish by giving this one last tip. Now we've plugged it, just make sure if you're ever taping a golf club, obviously measure it out. But make sure, and I'm sure if you've watched these sort of restoration videos before, somebody will have always given you this tip. But I spiral it. You might choose to use solid tape. It's just through my experience, I've got used to spiraling it. But always leave that little bit extra. And make sure you fully cover the hole at the top so that we don't get any dirt, down the shaft or dust, because that's what causes the rattles. So you do want to make sure that is definitely covered up. And if you've not applied enough tape, just pop a bit more on there to make sure it is covered. That's it. So once I've fitted this grip, I'm going to tart it up with a little bit of infill here, and then we're going to take it out on the putting green and we're going to test it. I'm going to let you know how 6 grams of extra weight feels in this club head, and you know, whether or not if I was to do it again I would have done a little bit more weight or whether I've done a bit less weight, just so that if you were going to try this at home you've got some sort of indication from my experiment. So the shaft taped, it's ready for the grip to go on. The butt of the club's entirely covered so no dust can get down there. I'm going to fit the grip. I'm going to finish with a little bit of nice infill paint on the ping and the answer. And then I'll show you the finished product tomorrow, where I'm going to be taking it out on the putting green. And I'm going to be testing how it feels with 6 grams of weight added at the bottom of the shaft to give you my feedback. So if you're going to try this experiment at home, you've got some indication on whether, you know, I might not have chosen to use as much weight or I might have used a little bit more, just to give you a little bit of indication in case you're going to try this experiment at home. So I'm looking forward to getting it out. I'll see you in a few seconds time. So it's time to try the finished product, the restored Ping Answer, the classic bronze headed putter with a fresh grip. The shaft's all cleaned up, but the swing weight were a little bit light. Let's see what it feels like. And I'm going to give you an honest opinion, guys, just in case you're thinking of swing weight in one of your clubs. We added 6 grams of sand, the cheap alternative to lead filings. That definitely feels heavier at the bottom than what it did. Could I have gone even heavier? I were a bit reluctant to sort of put too much weight there. I didn't want to, you know, spoil the putter. Yeah, feels good. I think I could have gone a little bit more, you know. It certainly feels a lot better. It's heavy enough for me to beat James Robinson in our match, but I could have probably gone a tad heavy. It's certainly not. I bet when James picks it up though, he notices it's not as light as it were. I don't think this is a putter you'd pick up and say, oh, this is light. I think it's just I think I probably not restored it because it was never a heavy putter, but I probably put enough weight in it that it feels like just a normal standard putter now, but certainly not heavier than a standard putter. So I guess if you've got a standard weight putter, probably putting 6 grams of weight in would probably be enough. But this was just a very light-headed putter to start with. I must say it is looking fantastic, this putter. Oh, this is going to be great. It's going to be great. It feels lovely, actually. It's certainly not light anymore. I think if I took it out without adding some weight in, I'd have really struggled with it. I'm not stroking them the best, but that weight's perfect, especially as the greens speed up as well. It's not going to be too heavy. Had the line just under hit it a little bit. So there we are, we've restored the classic Ping bronze putter. You know, I'm really happy with the weight. I think it's the weight now of a standard off-the-shelf putter. It don't feel underweight, and I'm going to sell it. So, you know, if you want to buy that, if you're interested in that putter, I'm going to stick it on my Gary Martin Clubhouse page on Facebook, and I'll take the highest offer, even if it's only a tenner. I'll put it on there for a week or so. And yeah, if you're enjoying these little DIY and restoration videos, then make sure you're subscribed, and we'll see you in a few days' time. Bye.